You know what I'm saying? It's been working.
Your body. If you love me, let me get your body.
God dog, man.
Goddamn, nigga, got Diddy.
They got
I
Diddy.
used to live.
My nigga, they done got Diddy. So before we can get into this whole story, man, we gotta get into a few key points of what the main theory is about what's going on here. And for the most part, it's just a soft. This is basically a soft lynching. So we can go ahead and start with 50 Cent. All right, so we'll get started here. We're gonna make sure that the sound is on. Oh, sounds not even working somehow. Wanna be a baller? All right, here we go. I guess not. Hold on. Hold on there.
Media, 50 Cent shared what he called a letter to the judge, in which he urged that Diddy's potential danger to the public be taken into account. In the post, he also referenced his own long-standing fear for his safety, suggesting that his concerns should influence the court's decision. Rapper 50 Cent intensified his years-long feud with Sean Diddy Combs by mocking him just days before Diddy's sentencing. On social media, 50 Cent shared what he called a letter to the judge, in which he urged that Diddy's potential danger to the public be...
Now, all jokes aside, we gotta go ahead. Yo, 50 is different, bro. I think 50 is different. Let's play it again.
taken into account. In the post, he also referenced his own long-standing fear for his safety, suggesting that his concerns should influence the court's decision. Rapper 50 Cent...
Now, who knows if this was the killing blow? Because honestly, real talk, this is just one big humiliation ritual. I think for what I'm going to mainly be getting into is you cannot have a prosperous life. Young nigga, stop wasting your time. If you can hear me, if your ears work, listen to me. Piper Boy Williams' voice. Pause. Sorry, bar. You got Piper Boy in your name. You are a good man, but you have Piper Boy as a name and as a handle. So I always gotta pause you, bro. The Paul Hall of Fame exists because of you. But anyway, listen to me. You will not have long-term prosperity if you do not go about life the way and you do not live righteously. One of the things you can't do, one of the main things that will always destroy men is the things they basically what sexual desires they give into and how much of your life do you do based around pleasure and what gives you pleasure. And I think to a certain degree, it really seems as though this to keep it a stack, getting into this whole case, right, and getting into the personal life and just having these rumors be confirmed about Diddy, you do have to have a certain, not to say a psychotic nature, but you do have to have it about you where you don't give a F. The one of and we gotta learn from this too, because we got to really see, okay, wow, so a lot of this stuff is true. So this guy, like we were seeing Diddy actually hitting Cassie. That really shined a whole new light on who he actually is, and it gave a new context. It's a different thing when someone tells a story about, hey, he put his hands on me, but to watch him grab her, throw her to the floor, and stomp her and whatnot, right? It reminds me of what I heard in that new interview with old boy who's saying that Stephon Diggs made a, I think his name is I think Chris Blake. Chris Blake, all right, and he basically made these allegations about how he had not a sexual encounter with Stephon Diggs, but Stephon Diggs tried him. And after that, being as though he didn't give into his advances, he was saying that his life had been threatened and he's been, he had confrontations and he's basically in fear of his life. And he's saying, well, this all is stemming from the fact that I didn't give into his advances one night, and allegedly there was some tongue and ear action. Nasty work, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all. That's why black men can't be getting their hair braided. Yo, if you a black man getting your hair braided, trouble will soon come. Trouble is going to come for you. Trouble will find you. All right? All niggas with dreads, all black people who got dreads be wilding, and all black men who got braids always getting into some shit. You know what I mean? It's something about it. The best thing for all black men is to wear your hair low. All right? Or maybe a short fro, little curls and whatnot. Also, you floppy curl ass niggas. I'm like, fam, y'all are becoming more and more like bad bitches. Do you realize, bro, you're wearing a bang. If your dreads is covering out, I'm like my nigga, you have grown your hair into where you have bangs now, like a bitch. Sorry to go off on a tangent and whatnot, but anywho, also want to speak on, pardon me. the way that 50 is treating Diddy, this is based on what the world really is though. First and foremost, we do have to look at the intention. Diddy did used to deal with his baby mother. All right, so they're Eskimo brothers. So you got to realize that when people get to a certain level, and I'm also gonna make reference to how Diddy was attacking Cassie. When you get to a certain level, you live in a different reality, right? What's possible for you is not possible for other people. Even in my like my small success of life, because I always see myself as a success because I'm in touch with and I see and I'm around people who have way less than me. You know what I mean? So I was gonna understand. All right, I say out of gratitude because in my mind I never look at it as this is how it's supposed to be. I look at it as like, yo, I waited a long time for this. Like something I'm always proud of. I always remind myself of because like, listen, you need to be encouraged at all times. So I always remind myself of like how far I came. Pause, or maybe not. But how far I've come along in life. Oh, pause again. How far along I've come in life. Even thinking about the fact that, yo, listen, I didn't get my own spot by myself until I was 33 years old, right? But since then, I managed to stay on my own. I haven't gone back, or I haven't had to go back like career wise either. I mean, I almost did, and not that that's a bad thing, but it's really important to me to be able to keep going forward. But anyway, but going back to what we were saying, I just had to touch on the softness of you niggas. But anyway, so intention is everything. Who's speaking on something is everything. Okay, so 50. Every chance he get, if you a op, that nigga will go at you online. That nigga trolled Diddy through a letter to the judge. This is, I'm like, God damn, he can't stand this nigga. And the thing about Diddy and 50 is that throughout the years, Diddy and 50 seem to have a relationship where they was cool. Up until like the last 5 years or so. You know what I mean? Because and 50 was saying, yo, they used to kick it on the phone and used to talk a lot. You understand? And then somehow, they had a falling out. But it always seems as though these guys fall out over a girl. But also, too, when you get to that level, you have a hard time dealing with not getting what you want. Like those kind of people, like they don't experience not getting a thing they want. The main thing that men, that's why, listen, shout out to CGA. The free agent lifestyle frees you of all this shit. You know what I mean? Especially if given the circumstances, if the circumstances are not there for you to be successful in romance, right? Or successful in the way that you would like to. So for the most part, most men want to have a relationship where they are the sense of it. Well, you should want to have a relationship where she's focused on you. Like one thing that I always credit my ex is that she gave me a lot of like confidence to know that the way I want to do things is good, and the way I am is good, and the way I am brings out the best in the woman, right? And so I would have affirmations in a relationship, you know what I mean? So I would say stuff like, tell me that you focused on me, and I encourage men, you have to put certain words in her mouth, and tell and lead. You lead it on every level. All right, you set the tone on every level, and that's one thing I hear with men that I think aren't as in tune with their leadership skills, because you have men who are masculine in terms of they seem as though they will be violent. Because for the most part, that's what black men think like masculine is. It's just you will be violent, okay? Or you will be violent, or you will have sex. And like, no, it's way more than that. A lot of it has to do with your decision making. A lot of it has to do with how much you want to put into your word. A lot of it has to do with your honor, your bravery. Like you can't even have bravery without testosterone. Like one of the reasons why I want to kind of abstain from so many different things is because I felt like my testosterone was coming down and my warrior spirit wasn't there. Like my will to fight wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that it should be. You understand? So anywho, so I thought that was just crazy. Like, yo, that 50 actually wrote a letter to the judge. And they he posted this shit online. This ninja's crazy. You know what I'm saying? This
Man, fuck. Fuck all y'all pussies, man. For real, man. I see y'all boys outside when I see y'all, man. For real, man. On some real shit outside, some body shit, man. I'm gonna see y'all boys when I see y'all, man. For real, you know that. Oh.
Nigga, he on that type of time. But anywho, so I wanted to get into that. Let's see what else we got, man. What we got? I want to play these two videos, man, in reference to what may have set this off, right? So it's been spoken on before that Diddy was trying to sue the people who basically helped him do Ciroc. So Ciroc isn't a thing that he owned by himself, but when him owning Ciroc